Hello and welcome to this video. This video covers two courses, Education 3320 Science for Elementary School Teachers and Education 2399 Special Topics Elementary Science Lesson Plans. My name is Dennis Miles. I'm a reference and instruction librarian here in the West Library at Texas Wesleyan University. I am going to be teaching you 4 different sections today. Section 1 will be how to access the library. Section 2, finding articles on lesson plans. Section 3, finding books on lesson plans. Section 4, websites for lesson plans. We are now starting Section 1, accessing the library. I will be teaching you these 4 different sections with a guide that has been prepared for these 2 classes. On the screen now is the instructions on how to get to the guide. So we start off at the university webpage, and then we go to the library webpage and click on a few things, and then we finally get to the guides. So here we're starting off at the university webpage. And the link for the library on this page is down in the lower right corner right here where it says library. Click on library, and now we're on the West Library main page. Now we need to go up here to this dark bar here, and we find a link that says research help, and then we go down to research guides. And then we go to this page that shows guides that have been created for 53 different subjects. The subject that we need is Education Undergraduate. When we click on that, then we see the guide that we need, Education 3320 and Education 2399. So we click on that, and now we're at the guide. Notice on the guide that there are tabs that go across the screen from left to right. These tabs are what you use to navigate through the guide. The Home tab here is yellow, which indicates that the contents of this tab is displaying now. When you click on another tab, the color changes and the content of that tab displays. You can use this guide again and again. There is no username and password needed. Just follow the steps given in this video and you will be able to access the guide at any time and from any location. This guide contains resources that you need to be able to find lesson plans and other activities for science. So now we'll go on to Section 2, finding articles on lesson plans. So in the guide, we are going to go to the Search Everything tab and click on it. Now Search Everything is a database that we call EBSCO Discovery Service. And this database allows you to search in practically all of our databases at the same time. The only place that you can access this Search Everything or EBSCO Discovery Service is at the library homepage. So on this tab here we have a picture of the library homepage, and the picture is also a link back to the library homepage. So when we click on this link, it will take us to the library homepage. And again, there's the Search Everything tab, and this Search Everything tab is the one that is selected by default when you go to our web page. And again, Search Everything refers to EBSCO Discovery Service. And EBSCO is a company that provides many of our databases. So when you click on this link here, EBSCO Discovery Service link, you're taken right into the database. And now we see on the screen the Search Everything or EBSCO Discovery Service database. Now where it goes is it goes to a page that just has everything that's in the database. So you can see here that we have 439 million records in this database. So that gives you an idea about how big this database is. Now let's take a look up here at the top at the search box. We can begin our search by looking for resources on lesson plans. So what we can do is type in lesson plans here, and we come up with 114,442 results, and that's a lot of results. When you search by a phrase, the database searches for the phrase and for each individual word in the phrase. This makes the results larger than if it only displayed results with the phrase lesson plans. To limit your search to only records that have the phrase in it, you need to put the phrase in the search box in quotation marks. Now we see that we have less results. We only have 66,000. But we want only science lesson plans, so we need to add the word science to our search. We need to put this word in a second box. But wait, we have no second box. The way that you can get a second box is by clicking on this advanced search. And now we've got 3 boxes, and so we can add science in the second box. 12,000 is a lot smaller. The database added this term to our search results by using the Boolean operator AND. Boolean operators are connecting terms that are used in most databases, including Google, to connect keywords together in different ways. There are 3 Boolean operators, AND, OR, and NOT. You can see here that the Boolean operator AND is automatically added to this search. Now we need to limit our search to science lesson plans of elementary school students, or for elementary school students. So we need to add elementary to the 3rd search box and again click on search. Now let's take a look at some of the results that we have. The first record here is an ebook, and so is the second, but the third one is from an academic journal. And then most of the rest of them seem to be ebooks. And number 10 here is a periodical. So we are pulling records from all kinds of different databases and putting it into one result list. So you can find both books in the library, electronic books, and journal articles in EBSCO Discovery Service. Now, for example, if you wanted just what's known as peer-reviewed journals in your results, then you can go over here to the left where it says limit to, and then you can click on this box here, and now in the results we only have peer-reviewed journals. Now you can see 10 results at a time. If you want to go to the next 10, you can click on this next right here. And we can look at number 11 here. What we see here is the title, and we also see the author's name here, and then the name of the journal, and the date, and so on. Then on the bottom it tells you whether or not you can actually see the article within this database. It says availability and request option for articles, so we click on that. And then it says here, request this item through interlibrary loan. So that means we do not have this article in this database. So we need to click on this request this item through interlibrary loan. And we're taking to the interlibrary loan page. Now you might be wondering what interlibrary loan is. Well, interlibrary loan is a service that we provide you so that you can access articles that are in our databases that we don't have access to in our databases. That makes it to where any journal article that you see in our database you potentially will have access to either through us or through another library. And so you fill out the information here about you on the form, and the information about the article is already filled out. And then the maximum amount willing to pay, and need by, you need to fill that out also. Need by is always a month from the day that you're requesting the article. I would always just leave maximum amount willing to pay to 0. And then after that you click on the submit button, and the interlibrary loan request goes to our interlibrary loan librarian, and she gets on her database of different libraries and finds one that has the article that you want. If, however, you don't want to use any articles that you have to get through interlibrary loan, then you can go up here to where it says Limit To again, and it says Available at West Library. And then we check that, and then it limits the search to just articles that we have access to. Usually, this could be automatically checked, and so you may not have to do that. I unchecked it when I did my first search to show you how many records there were. So let's take a look at record 3 here. This has the title of the article, and then underneath that it has the names of the authors. And then it says Journal of Educational Research is the title of the journal. Then it gives you the date of issue. And then at the very bottom, it has accessibility of this particular article. In this case, this article is available in its entirety in this database. And so it's there in 2 different ways. It's there in the HTML full text way, which appears like this. And it's also available in what's known as PDF, which looks like this. And then at this point, you have several options as to what you can do with this article. You can read it online, or you can go over here to the side. You can print it out. You can go down here to email, and you can email this article to yourself or to someone else. You can also download the article by clicking here on Export. Now, what happens if you do not find what you're looking for in the results? If you do not find what you're looking for in the results after a search, you can always change one or more of your search terms. If, for example, you deleted science here and instead put in maybe biology, you would get a different set of results. So to review, EBSCO Discovery Service is a good place to look for journal articles that talk about or have examples of lesson plans. Okay, now we're going to talk about finding books on lesson plans. To find books on lesson plans, you need to use the library catalog. The library catalog can be used to locate books by title or author or by subject. Where is the library catalog? It's located on the library main page. To the left of the search box are several different tabs. The one that says Books and More is the one that you use to search the catalog. So we click on Books and More, and then we can start off again by typing in our lesson plans. Now to add some of the other terms that we used when we were searching for articles, we need to go up to Advanced here and click on Advanced. And then we need to add a search field. So we type in science again, and then we'll add a third, type in elementary. So here we have some books that are about science lesson plans. And this first book here, it has a call number listed here. And so that means that this book is one that's physically in the library. And so you'd have to go and actually get it on the 3rd floor. The second book is different because it's not on the 3rd floor. It is an electronic book, and so you click on this Available via EBSCO ebook collection, and then the book comes up. Now there are many books that we have in the library that would be useful for science activities and science lesson plans for children. If we go back to the guide, then let's look at some of these books that we have. Let's click on this Van Cleve books. Janice Van Cleve was a former school teacher, and she taught science in public schools. And so she has published a whole lot of books that pertain to science for children. And so the books that we have that are by Janice Van Cleve are on this page here. We have on the left side, we have books that are physically in the library in the juvenile section, which is on the first floor of the library. And then on the right, these are books that are available electronically. So you click on these links and you will go right to the book. So these are some outstanding books that you could use to develop a lesson around. Now, the next tab over is Magic School Bus. So the Magic School Bus is a series of books written by Joanna Cole and Bruce Dagan that turned into a TV series on PBS in the 1990s. And so this is a series of books about an eccentric school teacher who takes her class on wondrous educational science field trips with the help of a magical school bus. And so we have a number of these books that are in our library collection on different aspects of science. So we have some on the left that are biology, and then we have some physics ones and technology ones down here, and then some that deal with space and also earth science. So these are wonderful books that you could use to develop a lesson around. You can have the kids perhaps read the book, or you can read it to them and develop some kind of an activity around these books. Scholastic Books. Scholastic is a publisher of children's books, and they have a lot of books that you could build a science lesson around also. So the Magic School Bus series is also by Scholastic, but they have a lot of other books also. And so you could also find these books in our collection and develop a lesson around those. The last section is section 4, websites on lesson plans. This section talks about many useful websites where you can get ideas and lesson plans. On the websites for lessons tab, there are many good ones listed. I will be pointing out a few of these, and you can explore others on your own. On the top left is general lesson plans. In this section, we have websites that contain lesson plans and other types of materials for teachers that are more general in nature. They contain activities and lesson plans for many different subjects, not just science. We're going to talk about Education World here. So we click on the link. The subtitle of this website is Connecting Educators to What Works, and includes teacher essentials, lesson plans, and technology for use in the classroom. As you can see here, there is a section that just is lesson plans here. You can also go up here to search and type in a topic. So Education World could be helpful to find lesson plans and other activities for science activities for your students. The next section is Science Lesson Plans. Under this section, we have websites that are more specific to just science activities. The first one we're going to be looking at is Bill Nye the Science Guy, which is was a TV series a while back, and so you can go right here and you can see all of his television shows here. So here are all of his television shows and all of the different topics that they are about. So these could be utilized in a science lesson for children also. Another one down here is called Share My Lesson. So when we click on this site, so Share My Lesson is a destination for educators who dedicate their time and professional expertise to provide the best education for students everywhere. So these are lesson plans and activities that have been created by teachers. And so we have preschool, kindergarten, different grade levels here, and different activities and different topics here. Teachers.org is another one down here. So this has science lesson plans for different grade levels, starting preschool all the way up to 5th grade here, and actually all the way up to 12th grade. Now, Janice Van Cleve, we've already introduced you to her. She also has a website, and on her website you can find science activities, fun experiments that your kids can do in all kinds of different areas. And then here's a picture of her right there. Another one here is Windows to the Universe. This website is brought to you by the National Earth Science Teachers Association, and it contains over 9,000 web pages and over 60 main sections of content about all aspects of science, including the sun, the earth, the solar system, space, geology, chemistry, physics, and biology. Windows to the Universe and its educational resources have been reviewed by NASA's Office of Space Sciences and Earth Sciences Enterprise, receiving exemplary status. There are many games and activities that a teacher can use in class also on this site. And you can also limit your search by grade level. Here's 1st all the way up to 8th grade. The next section is Joanne's Picks. You might be thinking, who is Joanne? Well, she's my wife, Joanne Miles. Joanne taught elementary school students for a total of about 30 years. Most of these years she taught 2nd grade, and she used many different websites to help her to find teaching activities and lesson plans to aid in her teaching. Below are some of the websites that she shared with me. The first one we're going to look at is Pinterest. Many of you are already familiar with Pinterest, but you can go onto Pinterest to get ideas for lessons, especially if you go down here to this link here. It has science lesson plans on Pinterest. Many interesting ones here that would be useful for doing an activity with your students. The next one we're going to look at is Scholastic. Scholastic is a publisher of books, and Joanne says that when she was teaching, they had a Scholastic book fairs in the spring, at which time her students could purchase books, and also Joanne could purchase books for her class. Some of the books that Scholastic publishes, as we have already found out, are about science, and so you can develop lesson activities around a particular book that maybe the kids all have. TeacherTube is another of Joanne's picks. The goal of TeacherTube is to provide an online community for sharing instructional videos. As well, it is a site where teachers can post videos designed for students to view in order to learn a concept or skill. And you can see here it's divided up into different major topic areas, and so here's science right here. The Teacher's Corner. The Teacher's Corner contains teacher resources, and they have lesson plans here also, and again it's divided up into different topic areas, so health, math, and here's science lesson plans, and you can categorize them by grade level also. So another outstanding website is the Teacher's Corner. Finally, here at the bottom we have YouTube. So everybody knows about YouTube. It's a great repository for videos. And YouTube is divided up into many different channels, and there are many channels that are about science for elementary students. And so there's just a list of them, some of them here. Here's one called Blippi, and we can click on this and it will take you into this channel. And so a lot of different fun videos that kids can watch. And then there are other YouTube channels that are all about science experiments. So this WizKid Science has activities and science experiments that kids can do. Well, you have reached the end of this video, and I have enjoyed putting this together for you, and I hope that you find the video useful and that you can find many useful activities and lesson plans for science activities in elementary education. And this ends this video.